Hi everyone. Um, yeah, the air conditioner's still on because I'm still recording on the same day. If you watch my videos, then you know that I make more than one at a time. I do it when I have time, normally when there's not puppies running around. But um, anyway, I wanted to talk to you about fear because fear happens to everyone. It's that one thing that keeps you from stepping up. It's that one thing that keeps you from moving forward. It's that one thing that keeps you from speaking out or from trying something new or from growing. So it's important to understand how fear affects your life, not affects, impacts. Because once you're afraid of one thing, it's easier for fear to get into other things and to bleed into other areas of your life. It's one of the main reasons right now that there's some people who've gotten quiet on social media. Some people aren't speaking up. They're not leaving their homes. They're not facing anything, and it's all because fear. They've placed requirements on us to wear masks. They've constantly put things in the news to make us afraid, and now we're sitting home and we're not doing anything. And I said from the beginning to my friends, I don't know if I said it to you guys, that there was a lot of changes that were going to come to the United States this year, and that part of the virus here would be to keep us from gathering together with more than 10 people and from protesting some of the things that were happening or from speaking up or um, gathering together to support each other in some of these changes. And it just creates an environment where they have more control over what you're doing because you're afraid, because you're staying home. So the division and everything else that's happening right now, I normally don't speak up because of fear, but I feel that if there wasn't already division within our thoughts and mind, then there wouldn't be so much division. They wouldn't be able to press on that and cause even more. We would be standing together more. So I think the division was there to begin with. It's just that now they're causing us to focus on it, and especially since we're sitting home and we're not physically talking to each other, you can misunderstand texts, you can misunderstand messages, you can misunderstand a lot of things, and it's harder to get information when you're not speaking to other people. So when you hear things like about Seattle and things like that, if you're not there, then you don't know for sure what's going on. So I feel that there's people out there, and I'm not going to say it's one side or the other, but I think that there's people out there that are playing on that. And I think that, we've seen how the media can overplay hurricanes and things like that, and like wind machines and all kinds of stuff. We keep seeing that there's fake news out there. And the best way to combat fear is to find out for yourself. So when we talk about fear and how it keeps us from doing things, it's the same thing that's going on in the world today. We need to step out. We need to look for ourselves. We need to face that fear by gaining more knowledge. We need to face that fear by realizing that fear is a life killer. It will kill your life. It keeps you inside. It keeps you tied up. It keeps you from doing maybe things that you should be doing. It keeps you from moving forward. It keeps you from growing, and it affects and infects every area of our lives. So it's important to understand, if you are afraid, how to face that fear. And like I said, get out, find the knowledge, research, talk to your friends, find ways to face that fear in a way that makes you less fearful. I tell you guys all the time that I can't do this for you. I'm not an influencer. I'm not here to influence anybody. I'm just here to give you some perspective on how I face things. So that's what I do. I'm not someone who was outspoken on things. I'm usually sitting like in the middle. I'm pretty moderate, and I normally will sit back and watch and see what everybody else is saying, and then be diplomatic within my response. But lately, I have faced that fear by getting my own research, by finding my own answers, and by figuring out for myself what is causing my fear, and should I really be fearful of this? I get up, I find the information, and I step up anyways. And I've posted on Facebook, and I've actually started speaking out a little bit on Facebook. And I don't like confrontation. However, I've been facing confrontation. I've been facing that fear of confrontation. And I just tell my friends who disagree with me, my opinion, your opinion, and I still love you. It doesn't change how I feel about them. I feel that if we face these fears, and if we move forward and we begin to grow, we finally realize that these fears, one, are a life killer, and two, that there is no reason to be divided. If we didn't feel the division in the first place, then we shouldn't be feeling it now. I love all of my friends. I don't take a side normally. I'm extremely opinionated, but I feel if I'm going to be opinionated, I need to be open-minded. And that's who I am. I'm not going to let fear change who I am. And you should not let fear change who you are. So I focus on God and I move forward. I stand in the middle of that storm and I keep Him in my sights and I let Him guide me. And that's how you face fear, is you find that center point that drags you through that and helps you to focus on it, on that center point, that support, that goal, that one thing that's going to be at the other side of your storm, and you keep believing in it and you keep focusing on it and you just keep moving forward. Fear should never take over your life. Fear should not divide your life. Fear should not do anything negative to your life. You shouldn't allow them. So we need to face them. And that is what I pray for you this week, is that you learn how to face your fears, that you learn how to do your research or do whatever you need to do that helps you get past your fears, and that you realize that if there was a division there in the first place, that there shouldn't be any division, and that you can love people who disagree with you, you can move forward, and that fear is not going to rule your life. In Jesus' name, I pray that for you this week. And as always, believe and make it so.